When I first got the email asking me to come out and speak at this TEDx event, I was like, wow, okay, this could be good. I'm gonna write, like, I got this email, it's like from David, and he's like, hello, truth is, I'd like you to come and do a poem at TEDxIB at York. And I was like, whoa. Now, keep in mind that I've never met David personally, and I'm sure that's not how he speaks at all. But in my head, at that very moment, that was what was happening. And I left my inbox inspired. And I decided that I was going to write the most perfect poem for this event. I was going to do it. I was going to write the perfect poem. And I closed my inbox with the plan. I was on a mission. I was going to write the most perfect poem ever in the history of TEDxIB at York. I'm just saying. And like, no pressure, obviously. So once I did that, I was like, okay, well, it's obvious that he in the email, he had told me that I could talk about anything as long as it kind of came around to the point of today's talk, which is perspective, passion, and purpose. So I was like, whoa, this is a poet's dream. I always want to talk about this stuff, always. And so I decided I was going to write this poem, and I'm like, okay, so perspective equals passion, and passion equals purpose, and this is going to be the most amazing poem. I am going to find focus on purpose. Even though, to me, focus is an acronym for follow one course until successful. So it wasn't until I was struggling with all these different poems, like words and phrases and memorizing all this new stuff, that I realized that I couldn't write the perfect poem. I can only write an honest poem, which would be made perfect by its purpose. And then once I went through all that, I realized that I already had the perfect poem written. So it was after a long day of hard work. My body was worn, but my mind used this opportunity of susceptibility to have me envision a world where a pen, just a simple pen, came and spoke with me. It announced it had heard of my cause and that all the others that came before it weren't ready for such responsibility, thus falling victim to the manufacturing faults. Oh, I see, I said. That's why they stopped working, find themselves lost or broke. They just choked under the pressure of use when they realized that this was it. Their only job from me was to spew the truth. And it continued that it, on the other hand, already knew its purpose for being. But until now, this very moment, it was still in search of the reason it believed when I said, were it my pen, that I'd sacrifice its ink to fix the future of the future sons and daughters and use it to write words that are weapons against hate and injustice perpetrated against their mothers and fathers. This pen, this simple pen, it wanted to die as a martyr. I told it to hold on, as if it really knew if it had spoke. For the things I wrote were not mere memorandums or notes, I reminded it. This cannot be a joke. No facetiousness to share was meant to witness the passion I can invoke and explain. Were it human on tears at times it would choke. It had a faith in a higher power, believed in humanity, but saw that this world was a place of immense inequality in which war and destruction seemed to be its only commonality. And it questioned this as I did, as you should, and how an outlook of such depression could be met with any comedy. Then its pen, the simple pen, and confided in me that it had grown sick to its very ink of people using ignorance as an excuse for their stupidity, refusing to do anything but complain about falling victim to the government trickery. When all it would take is them to grab a book, a pen, a pad, and do some research of great world history, because it's no mystery, it's been surprising. There's no before your eyes. It's not rare. It's no enigma misrepresenting freedom. It's not an issue. It's a problem, and there's a difference, it reminded me. And because as we speak, the circles being completed, if band together, we defeat it, break this vicious cycle of convenience, this pen, this simple pen. I had to stop it, because how could I believe it? when my first gut reaction was not to grab it, it was to laugh. And then it demanded I take command. It urged I make a choice. Better yet, just take a stand quick. Grab me now, this pen said sternly. Place me where we both know I belong, between your thumb, your middle, and index finger, because that's where this journey shall begin. That's where we'll both feel strong. But I can't. I couldn't. Truth be told, I hesitated. But this pen, the simple pen, insisted, asking where's this backbone I said I had, asking where was my inner fight, because it wasn't there just to write in my journal, it wasn't there for just that plight, it was there to write out the messages for those who had stayed silent because they had no choice. Its voice, I heard it clearly, although it barely whispered, grab me. And I did it. I grabbed that pen. I admitted if I didn't, who'd have written about the poor, the youth, the homeless that fall between the cracks, our ancestors, the mother supporting children on her back? Who would write about the little ones in Africa who died before they're 5 or who were diagnosed with HIV before they even realized they were alive? Who'd put into words breakdowns of other countries, cultures, nations, because it is just as important what's going on here at home. I would have held on to you sooner, I remarked. If only I would have known. And just like that, I awoke. And stranger, there were no words for me to speak, but I heard that pen's voice as plainly as a person in this room. Congratulations! In your hand is what you seek. And looking over, there it was, this pen, this simple pen that wanted to die as a martyr between my thumb, my middle, and index finger, right where it belonged. As I lay amongst the pile of paper as it promised, I felt strong. And there was one sheet alone that had writing on it. It seemed to be a letter of sorts, thanking you all.